Okay, so here you can see we have the box. This is what everything came in. This little tool tray. I'll show you stuff there in a minute. And I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do an unboxing video. I mean, I think those are kind of come and gone, in my opinion. But I have started getting this thing prepared for installation. I went ahead and installed the drain plug here. Here's the eyepiece where you can see the fluid levels, and this is a port location if you want to put a sensor in place. And then I've just threaded this in for the fill. So this is where you put the fill in for the lubricants, and it comes with, of course, the O-ring and the holder for the brake line. 14 bolts. I printed my own instructions, but it comes with also a link. Let's see, somewhere in here. There's right there to register and to download the instructions, and a cool little sticker. What I'm doing over here, I got me a small torque wrench because the bolts to bolt this thing on takes just 12 pounds of torque, and I don't need my massive torque wrench. Even though there is an O-ring, that O-ring goes right in here like this. I went ahead and just got some extra Permatex. This is specifically for differential cases and for transfer cases. So I went ahead and got some, and I may just put a small bead around the perimeter of this just in case. And then, of course, even though the kit does come with some blue Loctite, I went ahead and got another packet because you never can have too much blue Loctite. Okay, so the first thing I did was I took a little bit of lube out of here, and just a little bit, just enough to get a film on my fingers, and I coated the gasket with just a very small film of oil, of lubricant, and then you take your time and you push that into the groove. Now, it will initially feel a little like it's too long, but what you do, I started from the bottom because that's where I definitely don't want anything to leak, and work my way up like this. And I had a little excess up here at the top, but I kind of pulled it back out and then kind of pushed it this way, and it all seats in there just fine. So take your time putting that gasket in place and you'll be fine. So now we're really going to get our hands dirty and take it out to the garage and get this sucker installed. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is kind of get our tools together. So I've got my impact wrench, which I don't really need all that much power, but just easy. Set of tools. I got my little bitty torque wrench, and paper towels, razor blades, so I can scrape the gasket clean if it doesn't come off cleanly. Those I don't need, and a light. All right, so let's get started. All right, first thing we're going to do is take off the brackets here that holds the sway bar. And I need to get my magnetic tray. Forgot that. Okay, magnetic tray. All right, there's one. Okay. And we'll just swing this out of the way. Doesn't need to be much, just to swivel it out of the way. I'll just hook it up over the tire. And there comes the fluid. And there she goes. Okay, so here's what we've gotten so far. Okay, we've taken off all the bolts that hold up the brake lines, kind of tucked them up out of the way, removed one of the lines. Also, these things are attached with, they're not bolts, but they're like, I guess standoffs, and got those off. There's 3 on the top bar that are very, very hard to get to. Had to break them loose with a old school wrench. So we've got those loose by hand, and then finally loosened them up by their with the torque wrench, or with the impact wrench. So, all right, gotta change batteries. Okay, so let me show you what I was talking about. Okay, so there's these bolts up here above this bar that are really hard to get to. There's let's say 1, 2, 3, 4 of them that are a little difficult to get to. These are the ones that had the stems on it that held up the brake line. And once you get the nut off of it, they've got a 13mm nut behind it. It's like one of these things here. Okay, let's go ahead and finish this up here. And that's good and loose, so that's good. That didn't have to pry anything off. So and there she is in all her glory. Gasket looks nice and clean. I'm glad it's not sticking. That's good. Get that out of the way. I will need to clean that off. Let that drain on out. Everything looks pretty good. I mean, I'm not a mechanic, but I play one on TV. All right, let's see. All right. Well, let's get a rag and wipe that out. I don't know if any of you that are following me also follow a channel by the guy's name is Marion Blair, and he has a Ram truck as well. I go to him all the time. I look at his videos for all kinds of tips and tricks. I mean, I learned how to change my own fuel filters by him. He's actually quite comical. Anyway, he references when they call for a lint-free cloth, they mean really just a t-shirt. So let's cover that up. Try to keep it as clean as possible while I scrape. Maybe absorb some of that excess oil in there. It might just come loose with a little bit of rough rubbing with the cloth, with a lint-free cloth. Oh yeah. Let's get that out of there. All right, let's find a clean spot on this rag. Got a little solvent. Just gonna spray a little bit on the rag and wipe that down. Let's see if that kind of really knocks it off. I mean, this truck's only got 50,000 miles on it. I'm actually a little overdue on this job here. But honestly, I never saw it in the maintenance schedule. I don't know if I've overlooked it or what, but I've been wanting to do something like this for a while anyway. is we plan on doing a lot of towing, and the last thing I want is something that I could have prevented, and that's excessive ring wear. All right. Right there. Let me get another cloth. So Mitch, if you're watching this, I still have this shirt, but it's getting a little long on the tooth, and it's gonna go in here and clean the last bit of this oil out. Thanks, Walter White.
You're welcome.
That's about all I'm gonna be able to get out of there. We'll hit the perimeter again with a little more cleaner, and then we'll start putting her back together. All right, so I got 2 bolts started, just holding it in place just to get the rest of them going. So now I'm gonna start applying the Loctite. Now that I got those holders in place. If I ever build me another house, I'm building a house with a garage pit. Man, it'd be so much easier. All right, that one up there, those 2 up there. Those are gonna be the tough ones up top. All right, we got all the bolts in, and we got our little torque wrench set to 12. Here we go. Okay, it has been a couple days since I got the cover installed, and I want to follow up real quick before we close out this video. The torque specs on this hitch, at least for the one from Banks for the bolts, the 10mm bolts, is 12 pounds. And I had gotten this torque wrench, on Amazon, and they're little 1/4-inch drives, and it was not, how do I want to say this? It was not clicking at 12 pounds. So I backed it all the way down to 10 pounds, and it still wasn't clicking, showing that, I had the right amount of torque. And I was applying a lot of pressure on those bolts. And the last thing, of course, you want to do is break a bolt. So I went to a buddy of mine. He also has a YouTube channel. It is called Better Beaters. So go check it out. I'll put a link to that channel. And so of course, he's got tools, and he loaned me his. This is a Husky. It's a little bit longer, so I'm guessing I can get a little bit more torque on it. Yeah, it's longer. You got a better handle. And he said he's already got it set for 12 pounds. So we're going to give it a try. And I'm just using, I don't have a 12-point socket. I think that's what Banks recommended. And I don't know if that matters or not. If anybody knows that, let me know. But I'm going to give it another try to see if if this is just bad, or if I really had been applying enough torque and it just wasn't clicking. And of course, well, that would make this bad. So we're going to give that a try, and see how this works. Let's crawl underneath the truck and get to it. Okay, so if you remember in one of the videos, I was talking about this little eye here. So you can see this has, it's full of fluid. And I've probably got 50 miles on the truck, and there's no evidence of any leaking anywhere. I've been checking, and the fluid's there, so I know the seals are good. And I'm probably okay on the torque. That's probably tight enough, but I'm gonna give it one more try before I close out this video. So here we're gonna take from David, my friend, and we are going to see if I have 12 pounds. Yep, see, I knew I had applied quite a bit of pressure. Yeah, heck, I probably have more than 12 on there, the way these things are already clicking. Yep, 12, let's see. Oh yeah, yep. These are the tough ones, but yeah. So I'm sure all of these are good on their torque. Again, it might be too much on it, but I don't want to break a bolt. And 12 pounds is not a lot, but I don't want to break it. Yeah. All right, I feel confident that we are good with this. So, well, like I said, I took it for a test drive. Everything worked great. One thing I do notice, it could just be a placebo effect, if you will, but it already sounds quieter. The rear end sounds quieter. Not that it was loud to begin with, but I just noticed it seemed quieter. So with that, please, if you like these videos, please consider subscribing. Click that like button because that helps the YouTube algorithm to say, hey, these videos are worth watching, and share this with your friends. Ring that bell so when I put out new videos, you will get notified. Upcoming soon, we're going to be having the bypass filter install. And again, this is not how to do it, but how I did it and some of the results. I do have some blue Loctite though I need to get out of there. All right, well, that's just cleanup work. Guys, thanks for watching.